Hey, this is Nadia, a software engineer and the UK Global Talent Visa Coach. In this video, I want to tell you about what my service of strategy session includes, what this is, what you can expect once you book it. So once you have booked the session with me, a couple of things will happen. So first, you will receive a little homework from me, which will be a take-home exercise that you will need to do in your own time, which is basically a brainstorm for you, sort of a brainstorming exercise, which will help you pull out the most impressive achievements from your career, kind of make you think of the accomplishments that you have, and this will actually prime your brain for the session so that you are all ready to discuss your career and discuss the strategy for how you will get the global talent visa. In this exercise, you will also be asked to think of the people who might potentially be able to sign your reference letters, and also some other questions that will get you thinking about the process of applying. So once you're done with this exercise, and I do advise you to book the session with at least a few days in advance, because you will need time to go through the exercise, to think about it. I think that around 5 days is like the perfect time that you need to be in the best position for the session and to make the most of the session, right? So once the session starts, what will happen is that we will have a pretty intense conversation. I think that it's intense for both my clients and me, because there we will need to talk about your career holistically, about everything that you have done up to this point, with a focus on the last 5 years, since this is the requirement of the Tech Nation. We will talk about the documents that you already have, and also the documents that you are still missing for a successful application. We will discuss, obviously, any questions that you might have about the process. I will be happy to answer them and help you and guide you. But I think that the most crucial part of this is that we will create a roadmap for you to follow, so that if we decide to agree on a deadline, if you want to commit to a deadline, this is something that helps a lot of people. So we can decide on a deadline that you want to hit, and then we can come up with the milestones that you will be expected to hit along the way, to make sure that you keep yourself accountable and you stay on track for getting the visa, for applying for the visa. So we will also discuss the criteria that you plan to meet to get the visa. If you have done some research, you know that to get the global talent visa, you need to meet very specific criteria described on the Tech Nation website. Even though they are described in detail, they are still very confusing. I consistently see people being really, really confused about them. And when I was preparing my own case for the visa, this was the thing that took me weeks to really understand, maybe even more. So we will discuss the criteria, and I will help you decide which criteria you have the best chances of meeting. So I think that just this one session can potentially save you hours, if not weeks, of research on your own. So you will exit the session with a clear understanding of what you need to do to prepare a successful application for the visa. For many people, this will be enough, and I think that a lot of people are actually perfectly able and capable of preparing the visa application on their own. I will never tell you that you need to have a lawyer or a coach to prepare your case. I think this visa is open to everybody. So I think that if you just need this one little push and kind of some help and guidance to get the ball rolling, you can book the strategy session. You will end the session with an understanding of what you need to do, of the things that you already have, the things that you're still missing. If there are gaps in your external profile, for instance, so if you are missing some name recognition, for instance, so if we Google your name and nothing comes up, I might be able to help you fix the situation and get more publications out there, more public speaking opportunities. So I can advise you as to how you can build a personal brand online. So as somebody who's a blogger and a former journalist, I understand those things well. So if for instance you are more on the technical side and you have never done anything related to any external contributions, I would be a great person to talk to about it. So this is also something that I can offer you during the strategy session. So if you have time to spend on this and you feel comfortable talking about your own achievements and praising yourself and selling yourself, then you can go out there and prepare the rest of your documents on your own. However, I know that a lot of people have some issues with this. So some people are too shy, or maybe they have been brought up in societies where it's not really common or it's not really advisable to praise yourself and sell yourself. So also some people are just too busy to go through the process. So in this case, you might want to use some of my other services that I offer. For instance, premium coaching, where I really guide you through the whole process of getting the visa and support you with preparing all of your documents, all the 45 pages of the documents, help you with that, help you to apply for the visa, advise you along the way, provide support, asynchronous and synchronous support and coaching. And there are other options as well. So for instance, you prepare all the documents on your own, but then you ask me to review them once they're ready before you hit apply, which is also, I think, a valuable service if you want somebody with experience just to tell you whether everything makes sense, whether you're still missing something or not. So there are various ways to go, but I think that the strategy session is a valuable session that can really help you maximize your chances for success and build as strong of a case as possible. I hope this was useful. I look forward to working with you and helping you get the visa. Thank you. Bye.